Are you going through a corporate turnaround right now? Then you're going to love this week's business book review. And if you're not, stick around because there might be something that interests you anyway. This week's business book review is The Heart of Business by Hubert Joly, and it might not sound like a book that could get you through all the stress associated with a corporate turnaround. And to be fair, it's not a how-to book that will guide you through the process, but it is a great how it got done book from somebody who made one of the most miraculous turnarounds in business history. Hubert Joly, and I hope I'm saying his name correctly, is the CEO who took over Best Buy when they were on the verge of collapse. His strategies definitely didn't follow the typical MBA strategies on corporate turnarounds, but maybe that's what makes this book so good. Now, I don't think you need to be going through a turnaround in order to enjoy this book. In fact, it would be fair to say that some of the strategies that he implemented in Best Buy could be seen as preventative medicine to prevent your company from ever slipping so far down that it needs a turnaround. Because in a typical turnaround situation, it starts with cutting costs, which usually start with staffing since it's typically the largest company expense. And Best Buy did have to do that, but I think what surprised me so much in this book was how Hubert seemed to lead with more of his heart than his head, and his approach to turnaround was to begin with increasing sales. He said in a turnaround, the first priority is 1, to grow the top line, and then 2, go after non-salary expenses, and then 3, optimize costs associated with employee benefits. If 1 + 2 + 3 is not enough, then and only then should cutting jobs where it makes sense be considered. In some ways, I feel this book was almost a rebuke on traditional capitalistic thinking, and Joly encourages leaders of today to flip the script on satisfying the needs of shareholders and instead focus more on stakeholder needs. I had a hard time reading this book. Overall, I give it a 4 out of 5 head tilts. As a turnaround book, I give it maybe 3.5 out of 5. If you treat it like a leadership book, it's a strong 4, maybe even 4.5. And then maybe just 4 head tilts if it's a book on creating a revolution on capitalism. I'd say it's a great book for anybody crossing the desert and trying to create a growth or performance-based enterprise. Here's some excerpts from the book that jumped out to me. I've come to believe, to know that purpose and human connections constitute the very heart of business. And I believe that they should be at the heart of the necessary and urgent refoundation of business now underway. Work can be a part of our search for meaning and our fulfillment as human beings. If we each shift the way we consider the nature of work from a burden to an opportunity, then we can start transforming business. Although making money is of course vital and a natural outcome of good management, considering profit as the sole purpose of business is wrong for 4 fundamental reasons. Number 1, profit is not a good measure of economic performance. Number 2, an exclusive focus on it is dangerous. Number 3, this singular focus antagonizes customers and employees. And 4, it's not good for the soul. If you're not able to turn challenges into possibilities and silver linings, then you have no business leading a turnaround. Incentives can become poisonous. Dangle pay for performance in front of people, and they also become tempted to hide mistakes or shortcomings, rather than seek help and see challenges as chances to learn and grow. Pushed even further, incentives may result in plain wrongdoing. This book is divided into 4 sections. Part 1 offers an idealistic, positive alternative to the traditional notion of work. Part 2 examines why the traditional view that the primary purpose of business is to maximize shareholder value is wrong, dangerous, and ill-suited in today's environment. Part 3 addresses the human dimension that powers the traditional business architecture and how to unleash what he calls human magic. Finally, Part 4 deals with the qualities of leadership that is needed to pull all the first 3 parts together, and it revolves around what he calls the 5 Bs. Be purposeful, be clear about who you serve, be conscious of what your true role is, be driven by values, and be authentic. If you do read the book, I'd love for you to come back and share what parts jumped out at you, and let me know if you feel it's a turnaround book, a leadership book, or a statement against modern capitalism, because I frankly couldn't choose. I think it's a bit of all 3. By the way, if you've enjoyed this review, I'd be honored if you hit the like button and subscribe as well so that when I release another book review, you'll be the first to know. And if you enjoy these reviews, I think you would love my business book scorecard. It's a free Q&A that takes just a few minutes, and at the end, you're going to get a customized curated list of the top 10 books for you based upon where you're at on your specific entrepreneurial journey. You know, the reality is all books can become a 5 out of 5 if you read them at the right time in your business development. Why waste time reading books that don't apply to you? I've already sorted through over 500 business books to share with you the top 10 books that apply directly to you. It's fast, it's free, and the link is inside the description of this video. Until next time, let's both try a little harder to be a little better. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch that book review. If you liked it, I think you might like this one as well. Check it out.